Good morning. It's Thursday, January 2018, 25th. Somebody gave Betty Tigers some daffodils, so it's lovely to get around and appreciate them. Anyway, basically today's video is about a gentleman, a Chinese gentleman who has been put in prison for speaking up for people in China. Now, a lot of Chinese people come to Sheffield, and I wish them a very happy stay, and I hope they get a good education. A lot of them are students, that kind of thing, but I would imagine quite a few are unaware that China hasn't got the best human rights record in the world. And this gentleman, I've got his picture here, this is what he wanted to, he's a human rights lawyer, and this is what he wanted to do. He's made a commentary on human rights in China. Now, we want to be friends with China and we wish the Chinese people well, but somebody in China needs to get their act together, because if there's decent people like here, who are like this chap, Gao Zhisheng, and his daughter is very good at supporting him, and she's under difficulty as well. But when he's a decent man and seeing injustice and wanting to speak up for it, and all he does is gets problems from some kind of political force in a big country, it's not what anyone wants really, who's got any decency about them really. So these reports are available, well, probably on the internet from Christian Solidarity Worldwide, but also we've got some at Betty Tigers. You're very welcome to have some free. We've got a few, and because he's suffered a lot to try and help people, it's very well worth reading, sort of thing. As you can see, it's for public use. So we wish we wish the Chinese nation well, and to be prosperous and everything, and to be a very positive influence in the world, but we stand against any injustice in our own country as well. If our country or people are doing anything unjust towards anyone else in the world, we ought to stand up against them, or any country in the world which is allowing injustice. So we're not picking on China, it's just that when somebody's speaking up for human rights and they're getting it in the neck and having problems, and they're courageous enough to be willing to go through suffering to speak against injustice, then it's only right we should stand up with them, really. It strikes me that we've got quite a few horrible people who maybe ought to be in prison, like this guy who's supposed to have raped loads of women, and it seems to me that the authorities, whichever authorities in whichever country, would be better to put people who are threatening people in country rather than people who are speaking up on behalf of people. He's been speaking up on behalf of some Christians in China, and also the Falun Gong, which is a Chinese philosophy, who have been undergoing problems because they don't fit into somebody's idea of what a Chinese philosophy group ought to be saying, really. They want to control people's ideas, and really I feel if they trusted people a bit more and just got on with running the country and making sure people were fed and everything, which they probably do, then they wouldn't have to worry too much about religious groups, as long as they don't go over the top and start to injure other people, that kind of thing. They should just let them be at peace and not not interfere. They've got, they should have enough on running a big country like China with lots of people who need help. So it's well worth reading this report. You can see a little bit of it here, sort of thing. So I hope you come in and get one. If you you can look up on Christian Solidarity Worldwide to get the report, or you can look up this man's name, Gao Zhisheng. There he is, look. And definitely read his report, because he's been to a lot of trouble to, and he's probably got it in the neck for writing this even. But, I believe we ought to honour these people. A bit like Nelson Mandela and other people. And Nelson Mandela, we stood with him and honoured what he did for South Africa, but he was suspected of being involved in terrorism. I'm not sure whether he was or not, but this gentleman, as far as I know, had just spoken up for other people. So he's even more of a hero in my eyes than Nelson Mandela. So, because he had a big campaign to release him, and rightly so, I believe this gentleman should be honoured, and potentially he sounds like a good potential president to me for future China, because he'd be very much against oppressing people in the way he's been oppressed, and he'd want a fair deal for everybody. Anyway, so please feel free to come in and get a report, but otherwise please look up his name, Gao Zhisheng, and please also look up Christian Solidarity Worldwide, because he's not the only person in the world who's having problems speaking up for truth and justice. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry if I've rambled on a bit. So just basically about the commentary. It says Chinese human rights lawyer Gao Zhisheng has authored a 40-page document detailing human rights abuses and related social issues in China during 2016. This is the first comprehensive human rights commentary written by a human rights lawyer still living in China. So there you are, he's a courageous man. So let China be wise. We wish China very well. We wish the Chinese students well, and we wish that we could regard China as the most forward, progressive and kind country that we've ever heard about, and so that there wouldn't be anything in China's behaviour that we would criticise at all. We'd love to be able to say that, but at the moment there seem to be clouds over Chinese progress and sunshine of what they want to do in the future with their great financial advances and everything, and we wish them all well, but let any clouds of nastiness go away, because it dishonours a great people. The Chinese people are a great people, and their leaders should be great as well, and not put down people in any way, unless they truly are criminals and have done something bad that needs punishing, in which case they should be just and give them the appropriate punishment. Thank you very much for watching. All the best. Bye.